Hello, Urbana. You might just have seen that I am at the top of the America Center where all of the operations happens to control and move very smoothly and efficiently all of our our diner, I should say, participants smoothly through the line. So I'm here up at the box with a few of our friends who are making this process run very smoothly and efficiently. And so I thought it would be fun to give you guys a little bit behind the scenes look of how you feed 16,000 participants in 2 hours. That's it, 2 hours. So if you're joining us, welcome, and feel free to interact. Ask me your questions. If you have questions for our dining control folks of how this whole thing operates, let me know and I'll ask, okay? So I'm by Kurt Wilson. Hi, Kurt.
Hi.
And Laura, yes, this is where the voice in the sky lives. He would like to keep his anonymity, so as the voice in the sky. So that's him, and we'll protect his anonymity as much as we can. But Kurt, what's your day job?
Say that again?
What's your day job?
My day job, I am the director of our summer training for the Midwest cluster of InterVarsity. So I run our Chapter Focus Weeks and our month-long Leadership Training Institute.
Awesome.
But this week...
What's your job this week?
I am the eyes in the sky overseeing the feeding of 13,000 people a night.
All right, excellent. And now you said 13,000, not 16,000. Why is that?
Probably because not everybody either A, wants to eat, B, they might be sleeping, C, they might just be eating out on the town, or have found some other way to get food that I'm unaware of.
Excellent. And who would not want to come and join? Look at this, friends. Look at this experience. Who would not want to come and join all of their friends for a wonderful communal dining experience? I don't know. Hopefully that's not you. Hopefully all of you watching are in the dining hall or planning on joining us in the dining hall tonight. Okay, so Kurt, and if friends, Kurt might have to be interrupted to answer some important calls, so if that happens, that's okay. But Kurt, can you give us a bird's eye view of what feeding 13,000 people look like?
Yeah, so we have an inside team of about 45 to 55 people, and we have an outside team of 15 to 20 people, and they are there just to kind of direct traffic and make sure everybody is moving. Our goal is to have the line never stop moving. We have about room for 5,000 people to sit at once. We have the room that you just saw seats about 5,000 people. We go through that room about 2.5 times, depending on the night. And so as they come in from the outside, they get funneled into what we call speed lines, which is basically a checkout where they get their food. I mean, hopefully they're just walking and grab a tray of food. Everything is already stacked. And as they come out of their checkout lanes, they get funneled north or funneled south, depending on where we need to seat them. As they get funneled, then they get directed by other people to keep on walking, and they fill up section by section. Our goal is to fill up the north white section and the south white section, or whatever color we're in, at the exact same time, so that as we do that, we move together from white to red, from red to blue, and that way we can keep cycling through. We hope that each diner will get between 20 and 30 minutes to eat. Okay. Generally, that works out pretty well. But what we're always trying to do is keep one section empty in advance of seating people. So that way we know we're not going to be seating people where people are seated. So we're always trying to dismiss people ahead of time so they have time to get out before the next group comes in. So.
Excellent. Okay, so this is a science.
Yes, it's a flowing. It's an ongoing orchestra. It's kind of like air traffic control. You got to make sure you don't have people backing up on each other.
Absolutely, absolutely. So your job is to keep an eye on all to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yes, that's my role, is to kind of help direct traffic in a smooth way so that it's equally north and south.
Excellent. Very good. Someone's asking, so do people from different churches donate food, or do you get it from distributors?
The food is provided by the catering company. It's part of the student's registration fee. So we buy the food through the catering company, and it's provided that way. So when students register, that's how the food is covered there.
Okay, great. And what are some of like the peak times, or the amount of people that are coming through at any given point?
Our peak times are probably between 5:30, 5:40, and 6:10, 6:15. Our highest, over the last 3 days, the highest number we've seen is 1,700 people walking through the entry point in a 10-minute span.
Okay.
Probably our average peak numbers are between 1,300 and 1,500 people per 10 minutes.
All
I think we're doing pretty good.
Taking a call. All right, yep.
So 1,300, 1,400 is probably our peak. Our average is probably 1,000 to 1,200 every 10 minutes.
Okay, excellent. All right, now I can imagine with this many people, there are some challenges that come with that. So what would you say, Kurt, are some of your most common challenges? Or I've heard of a plate disaster from Urbana 12. So
yeah, so that was a big disaster last year, or 3 years ago. They had the wrong trays. It took them an extra second to separate the trays to put the food on it, and when you take that extra second times 13,000, it adds a lot of time. And so they actually had to close the doors for a period to let the traffic break out. So overnight they ordered 5,000 new trays so that they could speed that process up. And so our goal is, like I said, to always keep the line moving. So our biggest goals now are just making sure that people aren't waiting for their friends and then just stopping in the middle of the line.
Sure,
we want them to wait for their friends outside with the outside team. We've got a little sectioned off area for wait for your friends here.
Oh, that's a great idea.
It's so that's kind of what we're trying to do, is keep all the waiting outside, and then we let them come in. And so I think that's really the biggest issue, is just people just stop and don't keep moving.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, and I think one of my last questions for you, Kurt, is what joy do you get from being up here and seeing this process work so smoothly?
I think the joy for me is just watching it all work. Like, it's kind of like it's a puzzle. It's kind of like a maze. And confirmed, Jess, you got a couple minutes, and then switch to red as well. So for me, it's just watching it work and flow smoothly. Watching and making sure that students have enough time to eat, but that they're not waiting and that they're not impatient. We timed our line yesterday, and from the longest point to the entry point of the door was like 4 minutes. So it takes that to walk it without a line. So that's a success. That means that we're keeping people moving, and that means they have enough time to eat. So I think for me, the fact that we can feed between 10 and 13,000 people every night in 2 hours, that's good. That means they're eating, they're hungry, and they're getting food and fellowship.
Yeah, absolutely.
Confirmed. So that, I think, is good. That's what makes me happy and gives me joy, is knowing that we are successfully feeding people and they're walking away happy, and we're not hearing a whole lot of complaints.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard any complaints. My brother is here and he hasn't said anything, so I think that means you're doing your job right.
That works. That works.
Well, friends, the Voice in the Sky is making an announcement here. I Am Lois Lane says thank you for all of your hard work. Kurt. Thanks, Lois. All right, friends. The man, the voice in the sky, giving his announcement. So if you're sitting in the dining hall, you should come and look up to the window and wave. Show Kurt and the voice in the sky a little love. They'd appreciate it. Thanks, Water in the Desert. Voice in the sky, someone says hello. All right, one last look of this engineering marvel, some would say.
Tablecloth section. This is your 3-minute warning.
And we just have a stat. All right, Kurt, what are you doing over here? What did you just say?
I just said we just had 1,000 people in the time it took us to do that interview, and I am just keeping track of kind of our 10-minute numbers.
Nice. Did you hear that, guys? So in the span of this interview, 1,000 people were sat and given dinner.
This has been the Voice in the Sky.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. And I don't know about you, but I don't think I would want this job. Anyone else out there? All right. Thanks for joining, Scopers. This has been fun to learn a little bit about how the dining experience works here at Urbana. So when you're in the hallway waiting for your friends, wait outside like Kurt said, and then come on in and help us make the traffic flow smoothly and efficiently so that we can continue to seat 13,000 people in 2 hours. So thanks for your cooperation in making that possible, and thanks to Kurt and the Voice in the Sky who have worked really hard, and all of the service people on the floor who are helping us do this efficiently. So thanks for tuning in. Share this, guys, on Twitter or Facebook. Swipe up if you're an Android user, swipe to the right if you're using iOS, and join us very soon at 6:45 for our pregame show. Our last day of Urbana is here. So sad, but it's been fun to share the journey with you guys. So join us later. See you later. Bye.